So we're back again with now another NBA 2K19 My Team video, and I think this one should be extremely helpful to a lot of you guys because you can see by the thumbnail and the title, this video is on the best way to get tokens in My Team. And right now I don't have too many tokens as I only have 7, but you look at my team and yes, I do have this pink diamond Paul Pierce. And if you guys don't know, basically that means I need to complete the emerald, sapphire, ruby, amethyst, diamond rewards, and then get up to pink diamond rewards and pay 150 tokens just to get one of these players. And in this video I actually have quite a few tips for you guys because I didn't realize for a while the best way to get them. Also, just a little plug right now, if you guys do want to see gameplay with this team, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch a lot this year and I'm going to be streaming a lot right now. So if you guys want to see it, be sure to follow me. It's in the link down below. So first things first, for me personally, the best way that I was able to get tokens was from completing domination. So you guys can see I'm 99 stars for NBA domination, fantasy domination, and all-time domination. And in all my separate videos, I did the maths to show how many tokens you get for each one, but I'm going to add it all together now and we'll see how many you get. So in regular domination, once you finish a division, you get 5 tokens, and there's 6 divisions, so that's 5 times 6 equals 30 tokens. Then once you get onto the Western and also the Eastern games, you do get extra tokens for getting 3 stars. You only get 6, which isn't too many, but it does increase, so 6 plus 6 equals 12, and then plus the 30 equals 42. And then for the final game of regular domination, you get an extra 16 tokens. So if we do the maths, that means you get 58 tokens for completing regular domination, which isn't too many. But the biggest thing about completing regular domination is then you unlock fantasy domination. So in fantasy domination, every single one of the token amounts goes up by a little bit. So you can see once you complete a division in this one, you get 8 tokens. So that means once you complete all the divisions in fantasy domination, 8 times 6 equals 48. So you get 48 tokens for doing that. And then once again, you've got the all-time Western and also all-time Eastern games. And these games both reward 16 tokens each. So that's 32 more just for 2 games right there. And as I'm using a calculator, that's 80 tokens, and you've still got the final game. And how many do you get in this one? 1823. So that's 103 tokens for completing fantasy domination, which is actually getting a lot better. Then it's time for the thing that makes it most worth, all-time domination. So another thing with all-time domination is just the regular games. If you get 3 stars, you get 1 token. So that means for this one, just for completing every single team, you get 30 tokens. And then look at the additional tokens you get for completing a division. It's now 10. So 10 times 6 equals 60 tokens. So just for completing all the divisions in all-time domination, you get 90 tokens. And then these Eastern and Western teams are much increased. So what? You get 23 tokens for each game here. So 23 plus 23 equals 46. Add the 90 equals 136 tokens. And we haven't even added the last game. And this last game gives you so many. You can see for 3 stars, you get 24. And all up for getting 3 stars in the final game, you get a crazy amount of tokens. It's 42. So if we add everything up for all-time domination, it actually ends up being 178 tokens for this domination. So as I said, for NBA domination, you get 58 tokens. For fantasy domination, you get 103. And then for all-time domination, you get 178 tokens. So when we add those all together, it ends up being 339 tokens just for completing domination. And not to mention, you also get Maurice Lucas, Pink Diamond, and also Diamond Bernard King, also Amethyst Mark Eaton. So I think domination is worth it in the first place, but 339 tokens, and you also get a few extra as well. Because when we go over to rewards, you can see I've completed the Arena Awards, the logo rewards, the association uniforms, and also the icon uniforms, and that was all from domination. And once you complete one of these, you actually get 10 tokens, and there's also 10 tokens for the Eastern and Western. So 10 tokens there, 10 tokens there, that's another 20. So there's another 20 tokens for the arena, there's another 20 tokens for the logo, as you can see, 10, 10. And of course there's another 10 tokens for the association uniforms, and of course there's another 10 tokens for the association uniforms for each conference, that's another 20. And of course for the icon uniforms as well, another 20. So if we do the maths there, 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 equals 80. And now I'm hoping I haven't missed anything, but when you add everything that you get from domination as a reward, you end up getting 419 tokens, which is actually a crazy amount. So if you started out My Team with 0 tokens and you hadn't completed any of these rewards and you got 419 tokens, starting from the start, it means you would be able to get, I think, 7 Amethyst players, and obviously 10 Ruby, 10 Sapphire, and 10 Emerald. So to get 7 Amethyst rewards just from domination is actually extremely nice. nice. And a lot of people say that triple threat is the best way, but to be honest, I haven't really played too much triple threat. I know once you complete a division in this, which takes about 30 minutes, you get 3 tokens, which is okay. But in my opinion, I think domination is better just because you have to get it done anyway, in my opinion. But next thing for me, I guess, because I have completed domination, I'm going to be grinding out this triple threat mode. And if I'm keeping it real with you guys, those are probably the 2 best ways you can do it if you're not going to spend $1 on this game. But then the next few steps do get a little bit more difficult if you don't have too much MT. And the reason for that is you are going to have to complete quite a lot of collections. So you can see here, I haven't completed all of them. A lot of people have. Like, I didn't complete the Warriors because they have some expensive amethysts. I didn't complete the Nuggets because their silver players go for like 15k. But I did complete most of the Eastern Conference because if you guys don't know, every team does award 20 tokens. And I've personally completed 25 of these teams. And as I said, you get 20 tokens per team. So 25 times 20 equals 500 tokens for the how many teams I've personally completed. And with me doing that and domination, it allowed me to get quite a few of the diamond players. I think I was able to get 2 diamond players after doing all of that. But then the biggest thing I noticed, which I didn't actually think was going to be possible, was the collector levels. Because when we go into this, you can see the first ones aren't really too good, but once you reach 1,000 cards, you get 250 tokens, which is absolutely crazy. Like, I don't understand how for 1,750 cards, you only get 25k MT, but for 1,000 cards, 250 tokens. To be honest, it's like the best reward. I'd much prefer 250 tokens than a diamond Andre Kirilenko. So when I saw that, and after I completed about 20 teams in my collection, I had about 700 cards. So I still needed 300 more, which is a lot. And I was like, it's going to be pretty difficult for me to do that. But then the thing I realized is uniforms are absolutely key. So when we go over to uniforms right now, you guys can see for each team, there's like above 10. And every single one of these uniform cards does add up to your collection level. So we can see here, there's a lot of uniforms to be collected here, and you know what, I'm going to take the time, I'm going to do the maths to see how many there actually are. And I finished the maths and I might be maybe 1 or 2 numbers off, but for collecting every single uniform in the Eastern and Western Conference, that's 373 cards right there. So the way I went to getting these uniforms is I would go over to home jerseys, and first of all, I'd just have a look. I'd go 250 buy now and go up to about 1,000, and then I'd just go through, and you guys can see that yellow symbol right there. That tells you which uniforms you actually have. It is like the best addition into 2K19. So obviously don't buy duplicates because why would you? But basically I just see if there's any up. So for example, this Nuggets one right here, 950 MT, and I'd cop it. And like this Cavs one right here as well, 950 MT. And then with the same buyouts, I do the exact same thing for the away jerseys this time. So I'd look at them and there's not as many of these up, but I'd buy whichever ones that didn't have the yellow little marker on them. And then once I'd done that, I'd make sure I'd add them to the collection so it would add the marker on them. That's if I see them again in the next step that I'm going to do. And then the next thing that a lot of people don't actually use, I'd go home jerseys and I go minimum bib 250 and then over to 1,000 for the maximum bib. And I do the exact same thing, except this time I'm bidding on cards. So I'd have a rule to myself that the maximum amount I'm going to pay for a jersey is 1,000 MT. So I don't have this statement Spurs one, and I'm just going to go 1,000 MT maximum bid. And then I've successfully bid on the auction, and you don't really need to worry about overpaying on a bid, because if you're the maximum bid and no one else actually bids on the card, you're going to get it for the cheapest bid that's there. I don't know if that really makes sense, but if no one bids on this card again, I'm going to get 300 MT back. And that was what allowed me to add so many more cards to my collection. And then it was what allowed me to reach 1,000 tokens and get the 250 reward, which allowed me to get my pink diamond. Also a few other things as well. You get 25 tokens for completing the heat check collection, and these ones are actually cheaper than a lot of the current day ones. So I do recommend that if you're really trying to go for these tokens, you do this one and also the Grizzlies one as well, because that's 50 tokens right there. And another thing I didn't really do too much, but it's definitely going to add to it, is I'd also do the 1K buyout for coaches, historic arenas, and playbooks. Also historic logos and basketball. So you can see I've completed quite a lot of them, but I didn't really do playbooks at all. But they all add to your collection, and if you're trying to get that 1,000 cards, it definitely helps out a lot. And to be honest, that's pretty much it. Basically, the biggest thing that's going to allow you to get pink diamonds is reaching the 1,000 cards. I don't think it's possible otherwise. And obviously, it takes a lot of grinding out, domination, and triple threat as well. My team unlimited is actually an okay way as well, because you do end up getting 15 tokens if you go 12-0, which is definitely difficult, but if you're good at the game, 15's a lot. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's the way I was able to get this pink diamond Paul Pierce right here, who was absolutely insane. Let me actually just show him real quick. Pink diamond Paul Pierce. But to wrap it up in a little summary of what I did, 419 tokens for completing clean domination, 500 tokens for the 25 teams that I collected in the collection, then also 50 tokens for the heat check collection. And then because I was able to rack up all these uniforms, I was able to get to the all-star MVP collectors level, which gave me 250 more tokens. And then that was how personally I was able to get this Paul Pierce, and pretty much everyone that has a pink diamond now, that's the way they did it. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out. I'm sorry that if you're on a budget, it's probably extremely difficult, but it is very early in the game right now, and these tips should help out a lot into the future. I thought I should bring this out because not too many people know about the uniforms adding up to the collection. And also I got the question so many times how I was able to get these cards, and that's how. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like button if this did help out. I will get Paul Pierce gameplay out very soon, so be on the lookout for that. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.